Is it perfect?
Oh, okay. Because we're not using the camera. Okay, now.
Always good place. I don't associate.
So we have two cameras up here. One of them for live. The other one for what?
So those two are.
Yeah, that's the one you will see it. Which is the right one. The left one is for what? No, you don't. Anyways, do you need this one?
Yeah, it's just
I just said your hands. Oh, that's a good. That's a good.
There we go. It worked. A little higher. You don't need the people. Yeah, little more. That's the highest it goes. Yeah, little lower. We're going to there and that's it. That's it. And if somebody is standing here, is it visible? Here, huh? Right? Yeah, that's the one. Huh?
You can zoom out.
A little more?
Yeah, not really.
No, this is too far.
Yeah,
Like, oh, it's too far.
That's
Switch to the left. Yeah. Yeah, 1 second. I gotta, work out a little bit more. That's what we did. But let's give it one. Oh, there we go.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm looking for Sister Subi. Sister Subi, if you're here, please see me right now, inshallah, if you're here. We need to arrange for the babysitting right now. Parents, we have babysitting tonight. If you have any kids up to the ages of 9, please bring them to the babysitting in the social hall right now. We want all the kids down right now, inshallah, so we can start the program.
Oh, good, good. तो बस हम 2 मिनट में स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं तो इंशाल्लाह 10 आपका कितना टाइम हो गया भाभी को पहले बात कर दिया तो भाभी को कहें तो स्लाइड मैंने पहले जो पिक्चर भेजी है ना उसमें देखिए 2 नीचे तस्वीरें 2 ऊपर जो स्लाइड है ना वो है
Bismillah. Testing 1, 2. So it sounds good. Testing 1, 2.
Razi. I'm going to save this. Bye.
Bismillah. Sound check.
We will go as a concept of clarity. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Can we all now take our seats, please? We are about to start the program. Brothers and sisters, can we all please take the seat and bring your kids with you? There are many kids in the front running around. Can we please bring the small kids either downstairs or make them sit next to you? Brothers, those who are at the dessert, can one person go at a time and not to make a rush? Take your seats. Brothers and sisters who are at the dessert table and at the tea table, can you please sit down? Can you go one by one and then take it rather than having the whole crowd? I'm going to. Brothers, now I'm bringing mic all the way to you. Sisters, can we just now have one person at a time? Sisters, can we have a seat now? Sisters, I think let's make them sit over there and be one person at a time to come and take it. Sisters, can we come one person at a time for the tea? Can we just go back and yes. Can we just sit down and then come one person at a time? We are starting the program. Just go and one person at a time. So this commotion is not here. Brothers and sisters, let's go and sit down and then come one person at a time. Please have your kids sit down with you. Have the little kids. I think the Quran starts, then inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We'll try one more time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakallah. I heard this side of the room. Let's try again and let's get as many people as we can. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. All right, getting there. One last time. From the people in the back, can I hear it from you too? Assalamu alaikum. Jazakallah. Welcome everybody today. Ramadan Mubarak. I hope you're all enjoying your iftar. We're going to go ahead and start the program. So if you could please take a seat after you've gathered your goods. And we'll be starting with a beautiful recitation by Brother Hasib. He'll also be doing the translation after.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. بسم الله. مثل الذين ينفقون أموالهم في سبيل الله كمثل حبة أنبتت 7 سنابل في كل سنبلة 100 حبة والله يضاعف لمن يشاء والله واسع عليم. الذين ينفقون أموالهم في سبيل الله ثم لا يتبعون ما أنفقوا منا ولا أذى لهم أجرهم عند ربهم ولا خوف عليهم ولا هم يحزنون. قول معروف ومغفرة خير من صدقة يتبعها أذى والله غني حليم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تبطلوا صدقاتكم بالمن والأذى كالذي ينفق ماله رئاء الناس ولا يؤمن بالله واليوم الآخر فمثله كمثل صفوان عليه تراب فأصابه وابل فتركه صلدا لا يقدرون على شيء مما كسبوا والله لا يهدي القوم الكافرين.
In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. All praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the most compassionate, the most merciful. Master of the day of judgment, you alone we worship, and you alone we ask for help. Guide us to the straight path, the path of those you have blessed, not of those who have incurred your wrath. nor of those who have gone astray. The example of those who spend in the way of Allah is just like a grain that produced 7 ears, each ear having 100 grains, and Allah multiplies the reward for whom He wills. Allah is all-embracing, all-knowing. Those who spend their wealth in the way of Allah then do not make their spending followed by boasting about favor, or without causing hurt. They have their reward with their Lord, and there is no fear for them, nor shall they grieve. A graceful word and forgiving is better than charity followed by causing hurt. Allah is all independent, forbearing. O you who believe, do not nullify your acts of charity by boasting about doing people a favor and by causing them hurt, like the one who spends his wealth to show off before people and does not believe in Allah and in the last day. So, his example is like a rock on which there is dust. Then a heavy rain came over it and left it barren. They have no ability to gain anything out of what they have done, and Allah does not give guidance to the people who disbelieve. Sadaqallahu al-Azim.
Jazakallah, Brother Hasib, for that beautiful recitation and a very adept verse of the Quran that is topical for today's program. Next, I would like to invite Brother Usman. He is the president of WIC and a loved leader by all. So please give him a hand.
Thank you, sister. Assalamu alaikum. Before I say anything, there's a lot of kids here, a lot of noise. We have babysitting in the social hall. Please bring your child. Any child that is up to 9 years old, I don't want to see them here. I want them to be in the social, in the cafeteria, social hall, or the babysitting room, so that we can have nice and quiet, inshallah. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulullah. So I'm going to make it very short. The reason most of you are here is because you want to know what WICSS Social Services has been doing for the past year. All I want to say to you is that you have to look back a few months back when we had an influx of refugees in our area. Most of them did not speak English. Most of them didn't know what their immigration status is. And so it was very difficult for them. WICSS Social Services stepped up to help them. Even as we speak now, a lot of them have found jobs through, as a matter of fact, through a lot of people here who are associated with WICSS Social Services. Dr. Ramzan himself has helped a lot of these brothers and sisters to find jobs at UMass. Brother Fazil, he's helped them find many jobs at warehouses. So this is work that is ongoing. There's a lot that WICSS Social Services is doing. Before you leave today, stop by at the cafeteria. You see the work that they're doing to spruce up our cafeteria. But not only that, but we have a pantry. And for many years, that pantry has been there, but it hasn't been functional. But what they are trying to do now is to make it a functional pantry. So if they haven't opened in the last couple of weeks, that's the reason. They want to make it functional so that when somebody is in need of food, is in need of clothes, is in need of diapers, you come to the pantry, you know exactly where to go and find what you need. So this is work that WICSS Social Services is doing. But WICSS Social Services does more than that. They also are responsible for our funeral services. So if, unfortunately, if you had an unfortunate incident of your loved one passing away, you will see how difficult that is for any community member. But WICSS Social Services makes sure that if you belong to this community and you have a loved one that passes away, that they make the process so smoothly, and we have so many good feedback on that. It's a very important work that they do. So as you sit here today and you listen to the good work they do, you don't have to limit it to just a few things. They have all kinds of things going on. We have matrimonial services within the WICSS Social Services. And as you know, a lot of our young brothers and sisters are looking for spouses but they don't know how to find a spouse in this environment that we live in. So we have elders in the community, brothers and sisters, who go through a very careful process to organize matrimonial services for our brothers and sisters. So all of this come under WICSS Social Services. So if you're here today and you hear what they do and you want to support them, please don't hold back. Support WICSS Social Services, because not every masajid around here has this service within them. This is very unique for us, and we want to bring this to the next level where people can really count on WICSS Social Services for the need. Sometimes as president of the masjid, I hear that, oh, they are not poor people in the Worcester area, they are not needy people. But if you are Dr. Shamim, you know what I'm talking about, because you get those calls all the time of families that can't feed their children, families that can't pay the rent, and so on and so forth. There are so many things. So please help support them. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to continue to bless the volunteers. There's a lot of volunteers that put the work of WICSS Social Services together. Even as we speak, every Thursday in Ramadan, they still hold the free clinic. There are a lot of people who don't have health insurance and can't just walk into a hospital, but they are here every Thursday for the health services they need. This is the work of WICSS Social Services, and a lot of people volunteer for that, a lot of volunteers for that. So not only would they be asking for your help financially, but they'll also be asking for your help in volunteering to bring the program to the next level where people could look at the masjid as a place of refuge, so that when they need food, they need financial assistance, they need whatever, they could come to the masjid. But when they come, the masjid is also open for them. So inshallah, I will leave everybody with that, and I ask Allah to make this program successful. One quick note is that tonight's dinner was sponsored by the Wellington group, WMC people, Brother Rafiq Awan and his group. So I want you to make dua for them, inshallah. They sponsored the dinner. But please help WICSS Social Services and help volunteer for WICSS Social Services. Thank you.
Jazakallah, brother, for that update. I'm personally also have volunteered with WICSS before in the clinic downstairs, and I've just seen with my own eyes the amount of impact it's had on all the families that have come through, especially during the refugee time, as he mentioned. For example, there was one family, we helped them get their kids to school, we helped them get the services for the bus, the health service that they needed, getting them to Boston for their children's delivery. It's a huge impact, and WICSS is really on the ground helping those in need. So inshallah, if you can support us, that would be amazing. And now I would like to welcome Dr. Ramzan. He will give an update further on the WICSS Social Services. He's a member of the WICSS board, and he is heavily involved in the community as well. So please welcome Dr. Ramzan.
Jazakallah khair, Sister Sahar. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Brothers and sisters, before I give you WICSS Social Services update, I just want to clarify one thing, that WICSS and WICSS Social Services are one and same thing. This is just a different aspect of WICSS. Basically, these are all WICSS related efforts, but we had to make an organization, WICSS Social Services, because there are many grants outside in the community, in the state and city available, which we cannot be eligible if we go as a religious organization, WICSS. So I want to clarify that concept for all of you, because people may be thinking, if there is a WICSS, what is the WICSS Social Services? Why there are two different organizations? That's the main thrust of it, because otherwise we will not be eligible to apply for any grants at all. And there are many other institutes, interfaith-based, which are benefiting from all these grants, where our masjid, you can see, needs a lot of that support, but we cannot benefit from that. So that's the one and main thing which we created, the WICSS Social Services. Number two, recently last week we had the WICSS fundraiser, but unfortunately we did not meet our target. We are still short of 40%, almost like 90,000. So please be generous. This masjid is run by our voluntary efforts and for our donations. So don't feel shy. Ramadan is the best time to give for charity. So please come forward and give whatever you can so that we can meet that deficit. And I'm going to give you just a quick little update. When the organization was created, we have to come with the vision, mission, and goals. This just briefly informs you that what was the vision for WICSS Social Services. Basically, to help the poor and needy in the greater Worcester area so we can really make them live a sustainable life. Now, it is a 501c3 organization. As I said earlier, we had to make it a separate one for the reasons as I mentioned above. This is our board. As we can see, we have 7 board members. Mashallah, they are doing their job, most like as a visionary efforts, whatever they can send. And mostly it's the working committee which is running the affairs on day-to-day basis, whereas the board is mostly to have an oversight for all of us. What is our mission? You can read it here, that we want to provide financial, medical, educational, and social services to our community. We want to alleviate the suffering and enhance the lives and offer support. So it's not like our goal is not to one time give them support, but come up with a plan that how can we make them sustainable to live an independent life so they can tomorrow be a supporter for the next family which comes in line. Our emphasis, as I said, is on the sustainability, whether through the education or through jobs, and maybe sometimes one-time support also. And other goal is to build the bridges in the Muslims of this greater Worcester community and also go outside beyond to our faith of Islam religion, because there is a lot of Islamophobia going. How WICSS Social Services can build those bridges when they are working with different social organizations which are working in the city, state, or even at the country level. Our goals are to make that as a trusted source and services to the community. Again, create a sustainable way of living for the poor and needy. Establish governance over charitable donations entrusted to us. Create a positive impact in our community by spreading the message of Islam through our spirit and our actions. We want to be the ambassadors of Islam and portray ourselves that how law-abiding citizens we are and what are our contributions to the society and how we can contribute to the society also. So which demographics we serve? It's not just really the Worcester area, because this center, when it was created, it was to serve the entire greater Worcester area. There are so many different towns in the surrounding, and this was the main center. We used to have a small masjid initially, the Islamic Society of Greater Worcester, small church. My brothers, 50 years back, they had bought it. We came to this big center which was designed and prepared, established for that reason. Mashallah, now we feel like we are running short of the space even in this center. And more masajid and musallas are opening in our neighborhood. But hopefully this center will continue to serve you in the best possible way. We serve the refugees from different countries, irrespective of where they're coming from. We'll also be serving to the non-Muslims to make sure that they see the positive impact and positive aspect of Islam. Because it's not just the Muslim community we want to serve, which may be our priority, but we want to open the doors to everybody, irrespective of the faith. And especially when we apply for the grants, that's one of the prerequisites, that we are open to everybody. And it's the service and work for humanity, which inshallah we'll be continuing to do. We have the food pantry down, which is open to all the people, whatever the faith they believe in. What are our main services? I will just quickly run through this. So today when you are here, or even during the month of Ramadan, or throughout the year, you want to give any sadaqah, you want to sadaqah from your family, for your friends, for anybody, a simple charity. This is the place to give. You want to give your zakatul fitr, what better place that your community, your center can immediately spread it out and give it to all those who are needy before the Eid day, inshallah, which is our goal, because it is wajib on you that every household person, every soul in the house has to give zakatul fitr. And zakatul fitr is now $12 per person. Even a newborn in the house, you have to give zakatul fitr for that. So if you have 5 people in the household, then it will be $60. You have 7 people, 84. You do your calculation. You can come and just swipe your card, write a check in the Mohid are terminals, or one is here, one is downstairs, or write a check. Or if you want to give cash, then maybe put an envelope and put it zakatul fitr. Same is for zakatul mal. The best time to give zakatul mal, the 2.5% charity, which is one of the pillars of Islam, is to give in the Ramadan. You can give any time, but Ramadan is a yearly time. You can sit down and see what access you have and how you can give zakatul mal. Again, you have different venues, either mohit or cash or check. We'll make sure that it's distributed to the needy people, whether it's local or anywhere where it's needed. I should just share with you that whenever you use mohit, we have almost a 3% or maybe slightly more service charge on it. So if you are here and you can write the check, you can give the cash, that's the best way you can help us. But if the convenience is the important thing for you, then of course the Mohit terminal, you can swipe credit card and do it. Our other services, we have every week a free clinic. One of our sisters who is an active member will give you a little bit more perspective on that. But every Thursday, 6 to 8 p.m., irrespective of where you live, what you do, which religion you belong to, but you can come, we'll provide you the free services, inshallah. We have matrimonial services, as Brother Usman earlier told. We want to make this center really to have the services offered from the newborn all the way to the end when we pass away from this life. This is the place, wallahi, where you should be doing your akika when you have a newborn. This is when the founders really built this place. You see these chandeliers here are in the social hall. It was not to make it a luxury place, but it was really to provide a space and a place where you can come and do the gatherings for your family, more as a family oriented thing, so you can enjoy. Why to go and book a hall in a church or in a hotel where you have to pay double, triple amount of the money? But if you do it here, you are serving your community for the akika, for your nikah, for any ceremony. Yes, if you may have some, reason that you want to have music or anything, something can be tweaked about it. That may be the only reason which you might be going out somewhere. But otherwise, wallahi, the sunnah is to do your nikah here. That's how the Prophet did. Masjid is the best place to do your nikah and do your activities. And from the newborn akika to all the way to the end of life, which is the funeral services, we provide that. We had several successful events for matrimonial services. Similarly, for funeral services, that's the subhanallah, it's a haq. Kullu nafsun zaiqatul maut. We cannot hide from that. It's best that we have our services available right here and we provide it at a very nominal cost for you. The food and clothing drives we do, we have the established food pantry every Friday. Our volunteers are there to provide and help all the members who are in need. So just to spread the word, you can also support the food pantry. In the same way, you can bring the people who are in need also. Similarly, youth services and engagement, this is one of our other aspects. We want to make sure that our youth is heavily involved in the activity because they are our future leaders. They are the one who have to be groomed and really get ready to take the baton. For the refugees, we provide some transportation services, whether it's for the job or some other activity, or they are new to the community and they don't have their cars, we can help them out. Funeral service, this is just a snapshot from the document which we have on our web page. I should share with you, and many of you are aware, some may not be, that this is the first Muslim Islamic funeral home in Massachusetts which was approved. So we are very proud of that. We are not making any money on it. We literally just charge $1,200 to any person when there is a death. We do not have control at the Hope Cemetery. The cemetery costs are totally different, but the funeral home charges, which normally can run anywhere from $2,500 to $3,500, we have subsidized it for you and only $1,200 for you, where we have to share with a funeral home which we need for the transport because we don't have a transport. So we use those services. We use the coffin. We obviously keep the lights on, the insurances and all that. So that nominal portion we keep, the rest goes to that other place, the funeral home. So $1,200, you go around and just ask anybody that how other centers are charging for the funeral services. Nobody can beat this price of 1,200 services. We want to have your support because we currently do not have the cooling facility. And our goal is that we can put at least like a 3 stacked up coolers here, because when there is a death and we cannot right away bury our loved ones, especially that Hope Cemetery, which is governed by union rules, and especially if there is a death on, suppose, Friday, then forget about it till you get them buried on Tuesday, unless you go to a private cemetery, which may charge you $6,000 to $7,000. Hope Cemetery is very economical, which is $3,000 locally available for the community. So that's the distinction you should be aware of. There's a $3,000 to $3,500 locally here in Worcester. You go anywhere, it's a $6,000 to $7,000. but we cannot keep the body over the weekend. So that's why we want to have the cooler, and any donation, anything we can utilize for that purpose. Similarly, we go get the coffin and other things. These donations will come and contribute for us to make that program a sustainable one. Dr. Shamim has been at the forefront that, mashallah, she has been very much strong vouching for that from the very beginning when the center was established. This was her dream to have an independent funeral place and the washing facility for that. Alhamdulillah, we have that. We'll make it better. We'll also are in communication with the city and state officials that how can we make a green burial, that we can get rid of this vault when we bury our loved ones, because the city requirements are we have to have a concrete wall. Similarly, there are rules of the state also, and we are working that if we can get rid of that, that we don't have to have an official funeral home, but we can bury our loved ones as quick as we can and without the requirements of the state. Because it's an Islamic service, it's a religion-based service, but we have to abide by the rules. Our matrimonial services, as we had already talked about, that mashallah, we have had several events. The last event was recently in collaboration with the Islamic Society of Boston, ISBCC. Our kids are growing up, mashallah. What else to look for to have a good groom or good spouse for our daughters, or a good bride for our children, for our sons, right? And this is the best place that we can provide from your center those services, so we can really come up with a good plan. We will be, inshallah, making a next event soon in next couple of months after Ramadan. So stay tuned for that. But mashallah, the service has been very well received, and we are fulfilling the need for our community to provide these matrimonial services. Our food pantry downstairs, as I said earlier, is, mashallah, we try to stock them up. You can drop your things anytime you want on Friday, especially when our volunteers are there, so we can stock up. You can write a check and say this is only for food pantry. And especially when you write a check, make sure you write it's for the WICSS social services, and we can pass on to that purpose and can, inshallah, distribute locally to the community. We had a grant with one of our sisters, and there was a special camp for the youth, the STEAM camp, which we had here for our needy kids as well as the kids of the community. And mashallah, it was very well received, and all the youth enjoyed it and had a great fun with all the services. This was another event with WICSS Social Service did with the city to participate in the Family Day event. Just wanted to give you a glimpse of that. Now, with that, I will just say that please give us your feedback. Tell us what else we can do. This is an organization, it's an infancy. We are always striving to make it better and do better for the community and all of you. So any feedback will be always welcome. Jazakallah khairan.
Jazakallah, Dr. Ramzan, for that thorough update. As you guys can see, WICSS Social Services is involved in many, many different ways. So we will appreciate all and any help that you guys can provide us. Up next, we'll have Brother Razi. He will be giving us an update on the Afghan refugee services. He's also an integral member of our community and has dedicated a lot of his time to volunteering here. Thank you.
Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum. So I will keep this really quick because we have our Isha prayer that's starting soon. This is an update on the assistance that was provided to a lot of the Afghan refugees who unfortunately had to leave their homes and land on the US soil. Many of them, I think close to 350 to 500 families landed in the greater Worcester area. And they needed a lot of assistance and help. And alhamdulillah, there were a lot of volunteers that came together to provide a number of different services over the course of the last year plus. I don't have the time to mention all the names, but you can see from the effort that was made, the amount, the time that was spent, the effort that was put in to provide 18,000 hot meals. That's a significant number. And there were sisters, there were some brothers who were just amazingly putting their effort and their time in making sure that these meals were delivered on a timely basis to all of the needy families amongst the Afghan refugees. I think as Brother Osman mentioned, there were 100 plus jobs that were secured for Afghan families. And this is one of the key things that we need to do as a community, is allow our needy members, those who are especially refugees or families and members and community members who are in need, to be able to stand up for themselves and be able to provide and support their own families. And so 100 jobs were secured with local employers, 300 kitchen kits, a number of winter drives, coats, backpacks, etc. A lot of the Afghan refugees, when they showed up, they didn't have transportation, they didn't have the ability, they don't have cars, they didn't have any means of transportation. And there were brothers and sisters who actually helped transport some of these folks back and forth, sometimes as early as 5 in the morning, because they had to show up for their jobs or for interviews. And there were a number of these trips arranged by brothers and sisters. We helped secure 50 driving permits for Afghan refugees and a lot of different case management services. So these are just some images of the kinds of services that were provided. And again, this was done as a this was a major emergency in many ways for the community, and the community really came together. A lot of different members came together, but the goal for us for WICSS is to make sure that we continue providing these services. There are a lot of needy members in the community, as Brother Osman mentioned and Brother Ramzan mentioned. These were images of the meals being cooked right here in the center and being provided to folks who were staying in hotels in the Worcester area. The food pantry, which Brother Ramzan mentioned about, there's if you go down the basement, you'll see it's something that needs a lot of help and needs a lot of attention to be able to sort of stock up on a regular basis. Images of transportation, and this is Brother Khalid and Brother Ramzan, who are literally driving a lot of the members back and forth for appointments, for medical appointments, for interviews, to do groceries, etc. And images from the job fairs, as I mentioned. I think Brother Osman mentioned as well, just one member of the community, Brother Fazal, was able to get 50 Afghan refugees hired at Imperial Distributors. It's a local distribution company, as well as a number of Afghan refugees were hired at UMass Medical, UMass Memorial, FedEx, etc. This is Brother Fazal basically taking a picture of the Afghan refugees. So with that, let me, just to keep things moving, I'll ask Dr. Zahra Sheikh to come up and talk about the medical assistance and free health clinics that are provided to.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. My name is Zahra Sheikh. I am one of the many volunteers at the Worcester Free Clinic, Worcester Masjid Free Clinic. The clinic was established in 2018, and frankly, it was unheard of. I had never imagined this clinic would be such a successful endeavor. It's run by at least 8-10 physicians and a lot of physician assistants and nursing students. And we also have a collaboration with UMass Medical School. And their students come here regularly. There's an interest group in which we have students from UMass Medical School, which are led by Sahar herself. She was one of our pioneer medical students from there. And we collaborate with 2 other free clinics in Worcester. So whatever services we provide are in collaboration with them. The biggest thing that we did was during the time, in the peak of COVID, when all the Afghan refugee families came here, we moved the clinic over to Quality Inn Hotel, and we were able to see 50, 60, 70 Afghan refugee people and families who were in need for healthcare services right at their door, which was, I think, an amazing effort. from all the team. The clinic is held every Thursday from 6 to 8 p.m. and it has open doors to not just Muslim people, but we are having a lot of people from outside our Muslim community come in for physical examinations, for pre-college physicals, for Worcester foster care who are coming for examination. We provide free medications. We can offer them lab tests, and especially many people have been coming in for prescription renewals. So it's So we have also held flu clinics and COVID vaccination clinics. So I think. As you can see, these are some of the services that we have provided here. And these are some of the photographs of the team when they provided care at the Quality Inn. It was really rewarding experience to do that. And hopefully your donations can help us continue it going forward to have a more important footprint in the community and serve the community in need. And I will hand over to Sarah.
Jazakallah, Dr. Zara Sheikh, for telling us about all the work that the clinic does, and Dr. Rafiq for the social services update. And now we will be passing it on to Brother Rafiq, who will be speaking about the budget update.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I will be brief. I know you guys we want to start the prayer. So as you can see that alhamdulillah, this year our budget is 300K. And with all your help, I know it's very easy to inshallah achieve. We have budget for Zakatul Fitr is 25K. And that again, usually because of our community, we know that we'll easily get it. And also Zakatul Mal is 100K. So that again, based on our last year projection, we believe that inshallah, because of all your help, we will easily get that as well. So in addition, we do expect that all of you will help during Ramadan for whatever you can, so that we are projecting 100K, and then we also expect about 50K from other grants. So inshallah, we have a good target, and inshallah with all your help, inshallah we can achieve. And thanks again for all of you to come over and join us for this great gathering. And I just want to use this opportunity to thanks all my friends who joined us to sponsor the iftar. Jazakallah khairan, and may Allah accept all our good deeds. Jazakallah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Jazakallah, brother. Just to keep things moving along, up next we have Brother Jamali, who will be speaking a little bit about the importance of charity in Islam.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man wala. Brothers and sisters, I'll just be very brief, inshallah. I remember a very long time ago, someone shared something with me along the lines of, when you feel that you've already given towards a cause. No, not long ago, we already had a fundraiser. And there are many fundraisers in this month, and many of you may be thinking, you know, I've already kind of done my share. I've already given a portion of my share. You know, Allah Azza wa Jal, He says, أَلَمْ نَجَعَلْ لَهُ عَيْنَيْنِ. Allah Azza wa Jal mentions that, did we not give the human being two eyes? Did we not give the human being two eyes? And if Allah Azza wa Jal had wanted to stop after He gave you one eye, He could have stopped. But the generosity of Allah Azza wa Jal was, He gave you until He completed your perfection. So in a similar way, brothers and sisters, we hope for the mercy of Allah in this month. We hope for the generosity of Allah in this month. And in the same way that Allah Azza wa Jal has been generous to us, we must be generous to each other. You know, when we give in sadaqah, when we give in zakat, brothers and sisters, this is not something that only benefits the recipients of zakat. It is not something that only benefits the recipients of sadaqah and of charity. Rather, Allah Azza wa Jal tells the Prophet ﷺ, خُذْ مِنْ أَمْوَالِهِمْ صَدَقَةً تُطَهِّرُهُمْ وَتُزَكِّيهِمْ. Take from their wealth charity which purifies them, the givers of zakat, the givers of the sadaqah. The charity that we give, the primary benefits, the primary beneficiaries of it are those that give it. Because it is a means that Allah Azza wa Jal, He purifies us of our sins, and it is a means through which Allah Azza wa Jal, He purifies our wealth as well. Brothers, you saw the incredible resources that are being given through WICSS social services. The Prophet ﷺ, he tells us, Khayrun nas, the best of people. Khayrun nas, anfa'uhum lin nas. They are those people that are the most beneficial to other people. They are the people that are the most beneficial to other people. I'll end on this note. I remember when I was in high school, at one point volunteering with the youth, and we used to sit with the committees in which activities in the masjid were being organized, and it was like a handful of people. One brother or sister had a massive umbrella of responsibilities that they had to take care of. But just before the month of Ramadan, there was a similar meeting, and I hadn't sat in one of those in a very long time. So I was kind of unaware. I was unplugged from just how much has been going on in our masjid. And I saw that there's dozens of people behind the scenes that are working, that have built such an incredible infrastructure within our masjid for the different services that we have. That we have matrimonial committees, we have funeral committees with more than just solitary brothers and sisters behind them. So alhamdulillah, there have been incredible seeds that have been laid down in making our masjid a hub of resources, making our masjid a hub of security and safety and benefit to the rest of the community. So I ask Allah Azza wa Jal that He allows that to grow and to flourish. Wa sallallahu wa sallam ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallama tasliman kathira.
Jazakallah, brothers, for those inspiring words. And thank you all for coming to this iftar. For some wrapping up words, I'll be passing it on to Brother Dr. Ramzan.
Jazakallah, Sister Sahar, and Jazakallah, Brother Muhammad Jamali. MashaAllah, may Allah bless you and all the volunteers. Wallahi, without all you, the volunteers who come with their open hearts and help us. So may Allah bless you, bless your families. Even putting an event like this, running those, as Brother Jamali says, all these services is not the function of one person. It's all that when we put our hands together as a team and work with Shura. If we do Shura, Allah will put barakah in it, inshallah. That's very important. Our decisions are with Shura. We work as a team, inshallah. The last word, please give your sadaqah, your zakatul fitr, which is $12 per person for those who came late now. Your zakatul fitr and zakatul mal. We'll try our best to serve it and distribute it locally with all the different services available. And if there is a catastrophic need abroad, we do utilize over there also. Recently with floods in Pakistan, we spent like 15,000 allocated for that. For the earthquake in Turkey and Syria, we did like $10,000 over there for that particular service. We are sending a container through New Day Syria in collaboration with them. So that those in need in Syria, especially it was an acute need, not many organizations allowed, and New Day Syria was there. So we are working on that. Even tomorrow, they'll be bringing a truck to one of our board members, plenty of food which they are going to take and inshallah ship over there. So our humble appeal, write your checks, give your cash, or swipe your card for big social services. I just got a feedback that there are probably these boxes are not marked for Zakatul Fitr and Zakatul Mal. So we'll make sure, Brother Usman, wherever you are, and Brother Rafi, please make sure that we have clear-cut labeling for Zakatul Fitr, because there are not many days left. First 10 days of Ramadan are gone. So we should designate the boxes for Zakatul Fitr and Zakatul Mal, and the rest for masjid operational funds. May Allah bless you. Jazakallah khair. And for all the hosts who volunteered and for volunteers who worked here. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.